Hey, it's our Analyze Math Industry, and we are going to take a look at the interest formula. So this video not only covers mathematics, but it also covers some personal finance. So when you think of interest, you probably think about, ooh, money, or I'm interested in getting money. Well, when it comes to interest, it means the amount of money that is going to somehow increase over a time in years, or over t as in time. For example, here is a word problem that we're going to solve, and we're going to calculate what the interest is and what the cash is after the interest has happened. The thing is, about this word problem, you've probably seen about these kind of formulas. This example is the compound formula, or compound interest formula. So that means you get much more money, a little bit more, than the term last year, or each month you get more and more money, but that money is very, very small that's added. So we're not going to use this formula. We're going to use a different kind of formula. So let's try to understand the problem first and teach and solve as we go on. So you go to the Taoping Bank, which is not a real bank. It's one that we kind of made up. And if you insert $2,000 into a savings account, that interest rate is 0.2%. How much money will you have in your saving account after 4 years? So we have to kind of understand, hey, what is a savings account? Well, if you take a finance class, you'll probably learn about that, because a savings account is one of the first things you learn when you learn the term banking. So assume that I add $1,000 into a savings account for a bank. That is the money that the bank has, but you own because you're saving it literally in the bank. But if that has an interest, it's a good idea. So basically, if that interest was 0.1%, and I insert this in here, after 1 year, for example, then I'm going to earn $1. Because that $1 is 0.1% of 1,000. And it gets added. So the next time that happens, we get 0.1%. We get 0.1% of that. And it gets added onto this too. So let's try and look at the interest formula. So we're not going to use the compound interest one, because that's at a different level, and that is going to change the mathematics. Here is the one we're going to take a look at. So the amount of money you have after the term ends is going to equal the amount of money you put in at the start. That's the principal. Parentheses, 1 plus the interest rate is how much the money will grow over the amount of time. So basically, a savings account will give you interest, but the interest is very, very low. So you can't really make a lot of money off a savings account only. So let's take a look at the problem and see what happens. So over here, we have the amount of money, but our principal is the amount of cash that we put in the bank and our savings account. So we are going to add $2,000 at the start. That is called our principal. Now we have to make parentheses. 1 plus our rate is going to be not a percent, but a decimal. So instead of having 0.2%, we're going to have to change it. To turn this into a decimal, we have to go 2 jumps away from the decimal point. So in reality, we are going to insert as a number 0.002. And that is going to be our interest rate. 0.002. And now we have the chance to close up the parentheses. Inserting the time is going to be easy because we are trying to find what will happen after 4 years. And there we go. We have a set formula, and now we can do the math. When you do the math, you're allowed to use a calculator because you'll have to find, possibly, this plus this, and we have to multiply that by itself 4 times. So let's do that. The first step we have to do is the stuff in the parentheses. Remember, use the order of operations. So we're going to get an answer when you add the two is 1.002. So now we still have that in parentheses. We have 2,000 times 1.002 to the square root of 4. The next thing we have to do is use the exponent, because remember, after parentheses, we have to use exponents. So use a calculator to find the exponent with this, and we'll get an answer of 1.008. And the last step is we have to multiply by 2,000. And when you multiply by 2,000, you get an answer of $2,016.04. So if you have $2,000 in your savings account and the rate is 0.2%, then 4 years, you will have this in total. You will earn $16.04 if you take a look at the difference of this and the principal. So, in this case scenario, the more money you put in a savings account, the more money you would earn, but the rate would stay the same. And that rate is telling you the percentage of what you put in is going to affect how much you make in the long run. How many years have gone by. So that is an introductory video of the interest formula. I hope this video has helped you understand what a savings account is and the interest formula. Thank you for watching Talfinger Life's Math Industry. Like and subscribe.